morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are joining me, and welcome to another yoga studio. I am Kat, if you haven't been on the mat with me before, and this is our Pilates for the spine, so thank you for joining me. So yes, it's Pilates for the spine, so there is going to be lots of movement around the trunk area, but that doesn't mean we forget a little bit of strength and core work. That will be in here too. All right, okay, so if you have everything you think you'll need, mat or any props that you might want, then we will get going. So we are going to start by coming to the back of the mat, feet underneath the hips. And we're just going to start with our roll up to get, roll down, to just to get ourselves moving and warming up, particularly that spine area. So we're going to start with a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, drop your chin to your chest and start to roll down to the floor. So curling down as far as you can go. Maybe you want to take a nice big bend in the knees. Breathe in when you get there. And as you breathe out, we're drawing the belly into the spine, taking the tailbone under and rolling all the way up. Breathe in at the top. Open the shoulders back and open the palms to the front. Take a little stretch through the front of the chest, and then as you breathe out, chin to chest, roll all the way back down. So as we start to take this simple movement of just rolling forwards and backwards through the spine, start to really notice and tune into the breath. So we're breathing out, rolling back up. Breathing in, pausing at the top. Squeezing the shoulder blades into the middle of the spine, maybe a little lift of the chest up, squeeze your glutes in. And then take it back down to the floor. Breathe in at the bottom and then breathe out, big bend in the knees, draw the belly in, round all the way up. So starting to fire that core up as we squeeze the lower belly, the belly button into the spine. And maybe as we roll down to the floor, it gets a little bit easier to start to straighten the legs. No worries if those backs of the legs are tight and we don't want to straighten, that's fine. We're not worrying too much about our hamstrings at the moment. This is all about getting our spine moving. So breathe out, roll down. Nice and slow, no need to rush. Breathe in at the bottom. And breathe out. Bend the knees whether you're working with straight legs or not, and roll up so we keep the focus on the movement through the spine. We're going to take one more. But this time start to walk yourself forward. So we come down onto the knees. And we're going to focus that movement through the spine a little bit more with our cat stretch. The hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Just spreading the fingers out in the palms, pressing the palms into the floor. And then as you breathe out, squeeze the belly button into the spine again. Get the core working to push the back up. Breathe in, roll the shoulders back, turn the tailbone up. Nice big arch through the spine and stretch through the front. So again, just seeing if we can focus on the breathing as we take the movement through the back. You want each vertebrae to move. So we're just going to take one more. So breathe out, round up. Breathe in, arch. And then we're just walking the hand back towards the knees. Come to a kneeling position. Now if it doesn't feel good to actually kneel here and you'd rather just take a seat on the floor, take a seat on the floor. We're going to breathe in. Take the left arm up and then breathe out, lean over to the right. Come back into the middle, swap over. Lean over to the left. Just moving from side to side, just starting to find a little change of direction in the movement that the vertebrae are taking. I think that sideways movement through the back. I'm going to go one more to the right. One more over to the left. Come back into the middle and then just take a twist to the right. Back to the centre, breathe out, take a twist to the left. Again, it doesn't matter how far we're twisting. Don't worry about how far you look behind you. Focus on the movement through the trunk of the body. You can look over the shoulder with the head, then great. But focus on what's happening in that back area. So we're just looking at that final movement, range of movement through the spine. It's gone forwards, it's gone backwards, it's lent, and now it's side to side, and now it's twisting. One more to the right, one more to the left, and then come back into the middle and come back onto all fours into that kneeling position. So remember, if it's a little bit crunky on the knees, you could always fold your mat over, put a little towel under the knees just to give them a little bit of cushioning. And again, we're going to press into the fingers and the palms. Toes can be tucked under or flat, it really doesn't matter. We're going to squeeze the belly in, slide the left foot away, and right foot away, sorry. And if it feels okay, slide the left hand away as well. If it's too much for the balance, just work with the leg. Lifting them up, we're going to come into our rounding of the back, our cat stretch. As you breathe out, bring the elbow to knee together, round through the back, and then reach away. So breathe out, squeeze the belly into the spine, belly button to spine, using our core here. So the core stays engaged. Starting to work with the core a little bit more as we keep that movement through the back. One more. Reach out, take the hand and the knee down, and then we're just going to come round onto our left side. Coming onto the left elbow, elbows under the shoulder. This is our side bend. So you can do this with both knees bent. One leg straight or two legs straight. Breathe out, squeeze the belly in. Make sure you have the core engaged, and the next breath out, we're going to try and lift the hips up. Reach the arm over, tap the hips down. So breathe out, lift. Tap the hips. If you need that right hand in front of you, you can always have it there just to help push you up. We're going to go for two more. So we've got 7 and 8. Come back into the middle. Come round onto all fours. We've got our bird dog crunch on the other side, or extended tabletop crunch on the other side. So we're sliding the left foot away. Again, if you're okay with the balance and you want to reach the right hand out, we'd reach the right hand out, draw the belly button into the spine and lift. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, round the back, elbow to knee. And stretch. So exhale, elbow to knee, and reach away. One more. Open out, close down, come round onto the right side. Elbow underneath the shoulder again. Option to keep the knees bent. Have the top leg straight or straighten out through both legs. Squeeze the belly in. Make sure you have the core working. Breathe out, lift the hips up. And tap them down. Breathe out, lift. Reach the left arm over the head if you can, otherwise use it on the hand to help you lift the hips up. Use it on the floor to help you lift the hips up. Keep the core drawn in for support, and we're just lifting straight up and down. No twisting. Two more again here, so we've got 7 and 8. Come back round. Come back then into lying face so that we can lie face down on the floor. Feet are in line with the hips, and we're just bringing the arms by your side. So find a comfortable position for the hands with the elbows bent. They can be a little bit wider, they could be quite close in. And we're going to come into our swan dive. Start to lift up through the back and the chest. Melt the shoulders away from the ears. And then just lift the hands and the arms a fraction up off the floor if you can. We're going to breathe in, start to peel the shoulders back, lift the chest. And then when you can't lift the chest anymore, the hands tap down. So we can then support ourselves to get a little bit more movement through the back. Breathe out, lower down, lift the arms, breathe in. Use the muscles in the back, squeeze your glute muscles in, lift as high as you can. Take the hands down, roll up. Hands lift, breathe in. Take it up. Peel the back up a little bit further if you can. Breathe out. Calm back down. So just moving in your own time, following your breathing pattern. Do as many as you can. Remember, with all of these exercises, doesn't matter how many of them you do. If you don't want to do quite as many as we're doing together on the video, then that's okay. If it gets too much and you need to keep the hands on the floor the whole time to help you lift the back up, then go for it. We're going to try for 2 more. Lower back down to the mat and then walk yourselves back to a child's pose. So we could put a little rolled up blanket or towel underneath the ankles here, or a cushion between the hips, blanket between the hips, just to take a little bit of pressure at the knees as well. Walk the hands forwards, so round down over the thighs. And then as you breathe in, we're going to walk the hands round to the right. Breathe out, calm back into the middle. Breathe in, walk the hands round to the left. And then as you breathe out, come back into the center. Just giving the back a moment to release here, whilst keeping that idea of moving and stretching through the spine, through the back. While stretching the muscles in the sides of the body that we're working hard through the crunch or through the side bend, the little sort of side plank variation we were doing. One more over to the left. And then come back into the middle. Push yourself up onto your hand, to that tabletop position. And then we're going to take the right leg in front. See if you can stepping up then, or lift up, step up, so that we come to a lunge. Now, we want to make sure we keep the knee roughly over the ankle. We don't want to come too far forwards. It's okay to be behind, and it doesn't need to be a big lunge. As long as you've got the left foot behind you, we're in a lunge position, and we want to be able to just bend that left knee a little bit. If we're too close, then we're going to be bending and pushing forwards, and we're going to feel that weight coming into the foot. So we want to avoid that, but just wide enough so that as you drop down, you're not pushing forwards and we're able to drop the knee towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch. If you want to take a bigger lunge, then go for it. And you can use a wall or anything stable to hold on here to help with your balance. Arms are by your side to help with the balance. And as you breathe out, drop the back knee towards the floor, push back up. Drop the knee towards the floor, push back up. Keep the shoulders square over the hips, keep the spine nice and long. So while this isn't necessarily for the spine, what we are doing is taking a little stretch through the hip flexors, which can sometimes tighten up. As we'll always stretch through the muscles at the top of the hip, top of the thigh, and this can just help stretch out and relieve a little bit of tension in the lower back. Swap the feet over, step back, again, thinking about having the knee over the ankle, as wide as a lunge as you feel you can take. Breathe out, start to drop down. So we are thinking about our posture in the upper body, spine's long, relaxing the shoulders. Little bit of strength work for the legs here too, as well as our stretch into our top of our thighs. Last one. Good. Step the feet together. Have a little shake out of the legs if you want. Big breath in. And then when you're ready, breathe out. Drop the chin to the chest. Roll down towards the floor. Take that little movement through the spine, maybe find a little stretch in the back of the legs. And then we're going to bend the knees and just find a way back down, however feels best, towards the mat. Okay. Sorry, I think I'm going to have to just blow my nose. Apologies for that. Okay. So we're going to come into a roll up, and we'll have a go at a half or a full teaser if you feel you want to add on a little bit. So we'll start with our basic roll up, just get the movement going, and then you can build up if you want. So breathe in, breathe out, draw the belly into the spine, tuck the tailbone under, round down to the floor. Big breath in, stretch the arms back and circle the arms round. Breathe out, chin to chest. Squeeze that belly in, help it to roll you up. And then we can breathe in at the top. So that's our roll up. If we're going to work a little bit harder, we're going to take the right leg up. Breathe out, roll down. Circle back. Breathe out, roll the chin to the chest, and then walk the hands up the leg. Just see how far they can go. We're getting a little stretch through the back to the legs here at the same time. Breathe in. And then as we breathe out, lower the leg down, swap sides and come back towards the floor. So again, little stretch maybe through the back of the leg, sit tall. Breathe in and then breathe out, lower the leg, swap sides. If you want to work with both legs, we can. Breathe out, roll down. Breathe out, roll yourself up. And again, walk the hands up. See how far they want to go as you hold the balance. And then we're ready to take it back towards the floor. So don't worry if their hands don't want to walk all the way. Maybe some wobbles as you come up. Ooh, quite a big wobble, even. Keep that core under control. You don't want to relax. You want to think about using it for support. Keeping the movement through the spine as you roll up and down. We're going to go for one more. Hold it, little stretch through the back of the legs again. And then release down. Maybe just take a little roll of the knees from side to side. And then we're going to come into our saw. So taking the feet wide. Open the, so we're going to take the feet wide, as wide as they'll comfortably go. Sit nice and tall, open the arms up. And then as you breathe out, twist to the right. Come back to the middle, breathe out, twist to the left. So a nice little bit of movement through the spine. We get a stretch forwards as we come over the legs, as well as obviously our twist. Maybe we get a little stretch through the inner thighs or through the backs of the hamstrings as well. So it's a double here as we can stretch through the legs. And anything that helps stretch through the legs, particularly the hamstrings, and obviously can help with tension in the back of the legs as well, like when we worked on our hip flexors a little bit earlier. Come back into the middle, find the backs of the knees, pull the knees in together, and then just make your way back round into that cat stretch position, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. We're going to inhale, come forwards with the chest, and as you breathe out, round up, send the hips back to that child's pose. Breathe in, just slowly coming forward, a little dip with the chest. Breathe out, rounding back. Just giving a chance for the spine just to take a last little bit of release. So one more time, rock back. See if you can let the head come to the floor. Just pause here for a moment. Take a couple of breaths in. And then when you're ready, come back up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. See if you can then just breathe out, lift the hips up, and come into an A-frame or a yoga down dog. Breathe in, bend the knees as much as you need to. Walk the hands back in towards you. Now the big breath in as you just take that, keep that bend in the knees, hang forwards. And then breathe out, belly button to spine, tuck the tailbone under, slowly make your way all the way back up. The head's going to be the last thing to lift. Breathe in, reach the arms up, and as you breathe out, let the arms relax back down by your side. Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining me for that little movement through the spine with a few little adds on. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a thumbs up, or if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as ever, if you want to join me on the mat again in the future, hit the subscribe button now down in the corner so that you can join me again in the future. All right, take care now. Bye.